Hey friends, welcome back. Now we are going to continue our MERN stack project series, and this is our e-commerce project. In this video we are going to create the product API so we can create the product and we can fetch the product. In the last video we have created the categories and subcategories. So you can see I have running my backend server. So you can see the server is running on port 2000 and database is also connected. So let me use the postman to make sure like our last API is working well. Send the request and you can see we have got our category list. Okay, we have got electronics, we have got subcategories like mobiles. Again, mobile has some subcategories, that's Samsung. So we can add more brands like Apple, and MI, Redmi. There are a lot of brands, right? So let's work on it. Okay, let's work on the product API. Okay, so here is our VS Code. This is a project code, and this is our src source folder, and here we have routes, and here we have index or server file. So here again I'm going to create a file that's product.js file, so where both admin and user can use this file, right? So let me create a file, product.js, and before that we have to create the model, right? So schema is important so we can create our database structure and design of product. So let me create product.js, and here we have our product.js. Now let's go to your category and let's copy everything. Let's go to the product and paste over here, save. So here what we are going to do, we are going to change the name. So instead of category schema, I'm going to say the product schema. Let's copy this name and pass as a second argument for the model function, and this name is going to be the product, so it can generate products. Okay, so it is going to be the product, timestamps true, and we are going to change the field names. So name is product name, we are going to, it is fine, and then slug is also fine. Let's remove the parent ID, right? Now let's add couple of more product related information like price of the product. It is going to be a number, type, and required is also true. That's it. Now let's add a price, product description. So we are going to say description, and here again it is going to be type. So let me rearrange this thing. Description is going to be a string, and required is true. You have to mention the description of the product. After all, it's an e-commerce website, right? You cannot leave it blank. And trim also you can pass like value and true, and you can say that trim is going to be true. And what else, you can also set the length of your description. You can set the max and like 5000 characters or whatever it is. So let it leave this now. We'll save this for later, and let's add price description, and what else. So we are going to see name, slug, price, description, offers. We might have offers, so let's add as a number again. So type is going to be number, and this is not required. Sometimes there might be no offer in the product, right? Now let's what else, product pictures, right? Product pictures, and this is going to be an array. So what you can say, this is the sub documents. So this is the parent document, this is sub documents, and here we can store multiple images. So we are going to say img, and you can also specify the type of the image. So basically we are going to store the URL of the image. So we will upload the image in our directory, and we'll save the path of the image here. So that's going to be an array, right? Type is a string, and for the single type is a string is fine, right? Product pictures, and now let's add something like reviews, so people can add their reviews also. This is again going to be an array, and here it is like who is going to add the reviews. So we have to create a relationship that is called linking in MongoDB or NoSQL database, and the same relationship in the SQL database called we use foreign keys, right? So here it is called linking. So here what we are going to do, so the person who is creating the reviews must need to have an account in this application. So it is going to be a foreign key. So here we're going to say the user ID, and the type will be the mongoose dot schema, right, dot types dot object ID, and then reference. So reference is going to be this user table, that's user. Copy this and paste in the product, right? So here, so that person can add, if someone is adding the review, then that needs to be a logged in user, right? User ID and then review. So what review? Let's say it is going to be a string. Okay, and that's it. Reviews, and what else? Product pictures, reviews. So let's check, let me check if I'm forgetting something. So we have added the title, and we have added the price and available offers. Okay, brand. These are the sub properties. You can create color, RAM, delivery. We'll see after finishing the product, right? So highlights, specifications, sailors. Oh, that's enough information we have given, I think. So that's reviews, product pictures, offer, price, slug, name, and all, right? And here lastly, created by. So like admin ID is required. So who is going to add the product in the stocks? So created by is important. Here it is going to be again a foreign key, so we'll say type. So this is going to be a mongoose ID, mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID. Reference is going to be again a user, so that's definitely going to be an admin, and created by and type is fine, and reference is cool. Now created by, updated, we can add updated by or updated at. So you can say the updated at, it is going to be date, right? And category, the most important thing, right? So I thought something I'm missing. So name, select, price, description, offer, reviews, created by, and let's add category. So after all, products belong to some category, and here again it is going to be foreign key, right? So it's a linking. Here I'm going to say type mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID, and reference. So reference is going to be the category, right? So this table, right? Let me check category. Cool. And let's go to the product, and that's, yeah, cool, nice. So let's remove this first and save it. So our product schema is almost ready. In future we may add more columns, right? So let's now go to your routes and create, we already have the product.js file, category.js. Let's copy and paste in the product.js here. So let's remove this categories and add categories, or let's comment it for now because we haven't created any controller yet. Sign in and admin middleware is required. Router is fine. So here we are going to say the product and create product, require sign in is required, and admin, so it will check like the user who is trying to upload the product must be an admin, right? And here we are going to say request response and then handle it. Okay, so let's comment this code also, and now let's add the product const. We'll say the product equals to require. Here we are going to say let's come out and say models and product, right? Now let's add product. So here we are going to say the product const, and let's destructure the request dot body, right? The thing is we are going to upload images, right? So we cannot send the JSON response. We cannot accept the JSON data. We are going to accept the form data. So let's first check this is working or not. Rest.json, and we'll say rest.status. Let's make it 200. So that's an OK request. JSON will say message hello, save. Now let's go to your Postman and create a new tab, and here we are going to the localhost colon 2000 forward slash it's API forward slash product forward slash create, right? And send the request. And yeah, so that's the reason we have to add an index.server file right here. And here we can say let's copy this line, and we are saying the product routes, and here we are going to say the product, okay, routes forward slash product, and let's add the routes. So here we are going to say product routes, save. Now let's go to the Postman. Now let's check again, and okay, something wrong. Invalid schema configuration, user is not a valid type at path reference. Okay, let's check. Okay, so the problem, invalid schema configuration, user is not a valid type, right? So it's like user is not a valid type. It means I have added this object ID directly, right? It should be type instead of this one. So let's wrap it within an object. Here you can see now it's nice. Type mongoose and mongoose object ID and then reference user. Now let's see we are not getting any error. Now let's send the request, and so that's not a get request, that's a post request. Send the request, and you can see authorization is required. So let's log in, and let's admin sign in, send the request, and we have got a new token, so that is valid for an hour. Let's copy and let's go to the headers. Now here we're going to say authorization, and here it's bearer space and token. Now let's send the request, and we have got our message hello. So this is working fine, right? So we are able to get the response from the product. Now let's create the response. So for that, to upload the file and all, we are going to install a new package. Let me show you so you can explore more about that. So it is actually the multer, and we'll say npm. So this is one a multer you can use for file upload, right? That's we are going to use in this project. There are some more other populars like formidable, we'll say npm, formidable npm. So this one you can use. So there are a couple of libraries and packages. So multer we are going to use in this project, and you can explore and you can read more about this package. I will show you how we are going to use it. Formidable is another package. You can also explore about this package, and you can learn the benefits of it, right? There are another package like file hyphen uploader. So there are lots of packages available for file upload in Express, right, in npm actually. So this is one. So there are more, actually more than these three. So these are the like popular ones, so you can try or you can a file uploader you can skip because it is not very much popular compared to the multer and formidable, right? So let's ignore file upload and try this formidable in your own, and we are going to use multer here. So let's install this multer first, and let's close the okay, let's close this tab. And now let's go to your npm package. Let's quit the server, npm install -n save, and here we can say multer. So let's install it, and let me open that multer again because I am forgetting lots of things. So okay, multer, it's actually multer npm. So here you can go multer npm, and you can explore the how you can use it. So you can use it with the Express like this. So there are examples available, right? So multer got installed. Let's run your server. Let me install one more package for creating the unique ID for the file type, file names, right? So we'll say short ID. So it will help you to create a unique ID for your file name, right? Short ID. So we have installed multer and short ID. Right, now let's go and import those packages. So here we're going to say const, or let's create the controller. Okay, let's create the controller, and here we're going to say the product dot js, right? product, and it's added from the controller file. Now let's check this is working or not. Send request, and we are going to get the errors. Oh, our server is not running, so let's run it. Postman trying a port 2000 completed, and let's send the request, and we have got hello. So this is fine. Now let's go to the product, and here we are going to add those files like const, and we'll say multer equals to require multer, and const short id equals to require short id. Save, and here, okay, let's remove multer from here. It is actually not required here. Save, let's save, and let's go to your routes file, product, and here the multer is actually required because it's part of the configuration for the routers. Here we'll say a multer equals to require multer. Save, right? And here before the create before forwarding the request to the create product, we'll add a middleware again. Let's create a variable. Let's create the middleware actually. So that's upload, and here it is. I will say multer, and that's here. We'll say here that's a destination. So where we are going to upload our file. So we are going to upload our file in the uploads folder. So here we'll say / and we'll say uploads, right? Save this. So this is the destination folder where we are going to upload the file, uploads, and let's add the upload. So first we will check for the single file. Is single file working? Then we'll upload the multiple file, and here we are going to put the input field name, so the product field name. So we're going to say the product image or picture, product picture, right? Product picture. So this is the input field name, product picture. Will send from the Postman, product picture. So upload, it's a single file, product picture, and let's save this, and let's go to your controller product, and here what we are going to say, we are going to say a response dot status dot let's give a status like 200 dot JSON, and by default we are going to get a file. So here we are going to say the file and request dot file, and then body. So we'll say request dot body. So let's save, and let's verify it's working or not. So as you can see, let's close everything. I don't have any, yeah, it's created the uploads folder automatically. So when I save the file, it runs the server and it's created this file, right? So let's go to the Postman product, create product. Let's go to the body, and instead of using raw data like application /JSON, this time it is not application /JSON, right? This is a form data, so we can upload the form, we can upload the file, right? So let's write something like name, and here we'll say some name ABCD, and it is going to be a text type. Now here we're going to see the product image. So that's the one we have added here. So that's the one we have added in the routes. So here you can see it's a product picture, right? Copy, and let's go to the Postman, paste here, and let's change this type from text to file, and let's choose a file, and let's choose a random image like Amazon. Okay, now let's send the request, and you can see we have got unexpected token in JSON at position 0, right? So it's because headers, and you have to remove this content type because this is not a JSON file, right? And now let's send the request again, and you can see you have got a file. The field name is product picture, original name is Amazon 65 JBD encoding 7-bit, destination folder uploads what we have created, file name is this random something like that. And now let's check what it has done actually. So if you verify it, and you can see we have got a file over here, and that is unreadable file. So that's encrypted file, you cannot read it. So to solve this problem, we have to check the npm multer package, and here are some options are available, like how you can actually create a storage and a viewable file. So let's scroll a little bit and you can find something like that. So here we have this one. So let's copy this setting, save, and let's go to your file that is actually the routes. You can check in the product.js file, and let's add here. Okay, so let's change this var to const storage, and let's okay, so this is a storage. What it is going to do, it is going to use the multer okay library, and it is going to use a method storage, and it takes an object, and it has two property, destination and file name. So we can set the destination where we are going to upload our file, and then file name. So here we can modify the file name, whatever file name we are going to specify over here, we are going to save that same file name in our MongoDB database. Okay, so let's first change set the destination folder. So instead of uploading this in the root folder like uploads like this, we will create inside the src in parallel with index.server.js file, right? So let's write over here. So first thing what we are going to do, routes, and so this is product. Okay, so let's come out of this directory first, and so this is routes. We are out of the routes folder and we are equal to this index.server.js file, and here we are going to create a folder like uploads, and in this folder we are going to upload the product images, right? Let's save, and now let's also add the short id over here. Short id equals to require, we'll say short id, save, and here what we are going to say, instead of file.field name, okay, so let's replace this and write the short id dot generate. It is going to generate some random combination of alphabets and numbers, space, hyphen, plus, and let's check the output in the Postman. That is the original name. Let's copy the original name for our reference, and let's put over here. So we'll say file dot original name, right? Let's save this, and now let's go to your index dot in your routes, in your controller and product, and here what we can see, here we can check our file name, right? So let's save, and now let's run this send this request, and we have got our response back. Now let's check the file. So is it created or not? Source, and so here it is again. Okay, actually it is not worked. Okay, so we have created this storage but we haven't used it. So let's take this line out and let's save, and let's paste over here and upload. So here we are going to use storage, right? So we'll say storage, that's it. Storage key as well as value. Save. Now let's check your terminal. Everything is going fine. Now let's send the request. So as you can see, no such file or directory open, so it is not able to find this uploads directory, right? I thought it will create automatically. So here src folder, and now let's create a folder uploads. Okay, and here uploads, and now let's import a library in built-in library, that is path equals to require, and here we're going to say require path. Okay, cool. Save, and now let's change your destination again, and here we are going to say the path dot directory name. So if you give a path for in this directory function name, it will give you the parent directory, right? So underscore directory name. So here underscore directory name will give you the current directory of this file, right? So current directory is actually, it's a product.js file, and the current directory is routes. So whenever we are saying path.dir name, it is going to give the directory of current directory. That's a routes, and current directory will be again src, right? And then we will use one more time a function path.join to join the path, right? So let's copy this, paste over here, and it will join the path this src with this with a new folder like uploads. Okay, so that's uploads. Let's save, and now let's send the request again, and you can see voila, it's worked. And here you can see we have got our body, so that's name abcd, and we have got the file name, that's product picture, and you can see the original name is Amazon, and the modified name, that's important. You can see the file name, we have used short id, so you can see the short id is created because of that short id library, and then the rest of the name Amazon, right? So you can also put the date if you want, like when this image got created, and here is our short id generate function. Okay, now let's save. So this is for the single file upload, right? Now let's go and say not single, we want the array. It's because we are going to have multiple images of one product, right? So instead of a single file, here we're going to say the product picture, that's an array. And you can also verify like the last one. Here you can see the uploads created, and here the image we have added, right? So let's close this, and let's send the request again. So here we have the product picture. Let's create more fields, product. Okay, copy, paste, and text. We'll say the file, choose a file, and let's add a file. Let's add a Flipkart. Okay, let's add more file, choose a file, digital ocean, sad. Now let's send the request, and you can see something wrong, right? So the problem is here right now we have got array, right? And we are not handling it in the controller. So let's go again and go to your product.js file, and instead of saying just file, it provides a new property. You can check in the npm package modeler. So like if it is an array, then you have to if you're going to upload a single file, then you're going to get req request.file. If you're going to upload multiple files, then it is going to be request.files. So let's put s, save. Now let's send the request again, and you can see we have the multiple images, right? So that's one, that's two, and you can see that every time it's a unique file name, right? So that's one of the amazing thing we have done right now. So here you can see a file name, right? So we can manage like this. Now let's go to your controller, and let's finally add the product, save. And now we are going to say, so the product, let's say the product, and okay, const, we'll add the validation later. First we'll add the product, and we'll say new product, and it is going to take the object. And now let's go to your model.js file, product.js file, and let's copy everything from here, so it will be easy for us to track every field. And here we are going to say the product controller, and let's paste over here, right? So that's how it is going to work. So now let's remove this name field, and we are going to say it is going to be the request dot body dot name, right? And we can also destructure the thing, const, that's better, that will help in the validation, request dot body. And here we are going to say so let's not add offer right now, description, and product pictures, right? So product pictures, that is going to be an array. Reviews we are not going to add. Category is important, so we'll say category, and created by, that's an admin, created by. Now let's go down, created by, updated, that's fine, right? So let's remove everything. So let's add a library slugify, so we can create the slugify equals to require slugify, and here we're going to say slugify, and we're going to use request dot sorry, it's just name, right? And let's remove the body from here also. Okay, the slug is ready. Now slug name, slug, and description, price, price is fine, and next we have description, product pictures, that's an array, and category, so category, and then created by, right? So created by category created by is going to be something different, right? Created by, we are going to say request dot user. With every request we are going to get the user. I think you remember we have created the admin middleware, right? User dot underscore id. So let's save it, and once this done, we'll say product dot save, and let's execute the function. So let me open the MongoDB so we can verify everything. So guys, this is our so here is our collection list. We have categories and users table. Now we'll create the products. So let's go to your VS Code and change few things, like here we have product pictures, right? So this is going to be an array, and what we are going to do, product pictures. So here we have product pictures, and product pictures is something we are going to get as a file, right? So request.file, you can see the response over here. We are going to get the request.file, that's an array, and here we have the file name, right? So let's go and change something. So here we're going to say if request.file dot length greater than 0, then what we are going to do, we are going to create the product pictures. Okay, so let's remove this from here and save, and here we are going to say, let's create a variable const product pictures, that is going to be an array. Okay, product pictures, request dot file, we are going to use a map function. Okay, we'll say map, and here we are going to get the file actually. So that's actually files, not file, and here we are going to say the file arrow, and let's create the body of the function and return the changes. So the changes we are going to return the original we are going to return the file name, generated file name, right? So here we are going to say, okay, cool. So here we are going to have return, and here we are going to say that's file dot that is file name. So let's copy this property and paste over here file name. So it is going to return file name. Now here we are going to use this product pictures, so don't create it as let's use let instead of const. And now let's remove this, and okay, let's keep it like an array, and here we are going to say product pictures, that's it. So this is going to be an array with the list of file and file name. So actually this is not just an array with the name, so it is going to be an object. So let's replace, because if you remember, let me show you our model. You can see what we have here, product pictures, that's an array with an object img, right? So let's go again, product.chase, and here let's say img, and then file dot file name, right? So let's save this. Once product pictures completed, then let's come here, product pictures is available here, let's save, right? Now let's see it's working or not. So let's send the request, check the postman, looks fine. Now send the request, and we have got an error. So length cannot read property undefined. Okay, we haven't added any data right now here. Okay, we have added product picture. Oh, that's here, it's files actually, files and postman. Now let's send the request, and you can see product.save execute is not a function, right? So the mistake is here. Let's remove this exe, and let's copy this and paste over here. Now let's save this, and now let's go check the postman, and you can see we have got an error. That's a good thing. So path price is required, and these are the required fields we haven't mentioned over here, right? So price and then description is required. So let's add the whole thing, everything, whatever it is needed. The name first thing, so let's go again to the Flipkart. Let's go back, and so electronics, let's search Samsung. Let's open it, and we have downloaded couple of images you can also download. So let's copy this name, copy, and now let's check your postman, paste over here, name, right? Now let's add more keys like price. So we'll say price, that is going to be let's say 7,000. Description, description, and we'll say some text. So let's copy a few things. Is there in description? So here we have description. Let's copy, and postman checkout, and let's paste the description over here. And what else it's missing? Price, required, description. Okay, that's all. So we have added name, price, description, product pictures, quantity. Did we added quantity? Let's check the model, and yes, we don't have a stock. Without a stock, how we can sell the product? So name, price, and let's add a quantity, and here we are going to say the type, number, and required is going to be true. Okay, let's close this over here, save, and now let's go to the postman. Let's add quantity, and we'll say 200 pieces of this mobile phone we have. Okay, now let's send the request, and path quantity is required. Okay, quantity is here. So quantity, let's save quantity, and let's go to the postman. Okay, got it. So the path quantity is required. Let's go to the product.js, and here we have to say quantity, right? So let's get the quantity. Okay, quantity, let's paste over here, save. Now let's check, looks everything fine. Let's postman, send the request, and you can see, oh yeah, so finally we have added our first product in our backend database. Okay, MongoDB database. So the ID generated by MongoDB, the name we have created Samsung Galaxy M21 Raven Black, whatever it is. Slug is automatically created because of the Slugify, and price is 7,000, quantity is 200, description of the product we have got. And the good thing is, you can see the product pictures, that's an array. As we created the schema, it is exactly like that. So with every image we have also a ID, like because it's like again a document, right? And so this is sub collection, and then we have the sub documents inside this. So there we have added 3-4 images like Amazon, Flipkart, and all. Okay, created by, so this is actually user ID. So this is user ID of this person, who is Akshay Kumar. Okay, and the category, again we missed something, right? The foreign key. So we have to delete this again, and we didn't mention category as a required field. That's why it didn't throw any error, right? So here we have category, and obviously it is required. True, quite true. And created by is also required. True. Let's save. Now let's go to your database, and let's remove the product what we have added. So let's refresh, and you can see we have products, and it is loading the document. So now let's delete this document. Okay, document flag for deletion, deleting the document. So it is deleted. Now let's go to the postman, and now let's send the request again, and you can see we have got an error, category is required. So let's go to your get category API, and let's send the request. And you can see the Samsung, we are adding a Samsung phone, right? So let's copy this ID, so that's the Samsung ID, and okay, that's cool. And now let's go again and let's create category. Okay, so it is going to be this ID and created by. So we haven't added any created by. Let's send the request and it's added. Yeah, created by is automatically coming from the request because we are sending the token. So we have got ID, name, select, price, quantity, pictures, and the category. That's the important thing. So you can verify the category, right? The category belongs to the Samsung. Now let's check the database and let's refresh, reset. And here you can see we have added ID, that's the product ID, name is Samsung, slug, price, quantity, description, categories. You can see this is again our object ID, and this is this will act as a foreign key for the category table. So when we will populate data of category, we'll get the exact name Samsung and all, right? Reviews, we haven't added any reviews, that's an empty array, you can check. So that's an empty array. Product pictures, you can expand and you can see there are 3 objects. That's 1, 2, and 3, right? And created created, updated that's fine. Created by, that's an admin user ID. So this is how we have created the product. So this is how we have created product in the MongoDB database, and in the next video we will see how we can fetch the products and how we can use a foreign key for the categories and all. Thanks guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye bye.